I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Wouldn't do what?
What you were thinking of doing.
How do you know what I was thinking?
Oh, we make it our business to know lots of things.
Look, whatever you're selling, I'm not interested. Please, just leave me alone.
No, you don't understand. I've got a job to do here.
I said leave me alone.
This isn't going very well. But you said this was going to be easy. You won't listen. Yeah, I know. But if at first I don't succeed, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever read Tom Sawyer?
What?
You see, there was an...
Would be a lot better off. My wife, my kids, my friends.
You sure got a lot of friends. I'll say that for you. Why, don't you understand that they've jammed up our airways for over an hour now?
What are you talking about?
Prayers. When they're heartfelt, they're mighty powerful missiles, and the ones for you, why, they've lit up our whole celestial system.
Why? How?
It's because they never stop caring about you, George. Just like Tom Sawyer.
Since when?
Ever since that day you saved your little brother from drowning when he fell through the ice.
I was 12. That was instinct.
Yeah, but there were other boys that day too. Some bigger and better swimmers. They didn't nod to their instincts. Only you did.
He's my brother.
Also true, but what about when you saved Gower from ruin? That wasn't instinct. That was courage. Deep-seated and right full of guts courage.
But he had just received a telegram telling him his son had died.
And he had turned me through and through from drowning sorrow in a bottle. Remember?
George, are you out there? I'm sorry, Mrs. Blaine. The medicine should have been delivered an hour ago. I promise it'll be over in 5 minutes. Where is Mrs. Blaine's box of medicine? Why didn't you deliver them?
I couldn't!
Why couldn't you deliver them? Don't you know the Blaine's boy's very sick?
You're hurting my sore ear, Mr. Gower!
You lazy loafer.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing! You put something wrong in those capsules!
What are you talking about?
I know you're unhappy. You got that telegram today in the mail and it upset you. I understand that. But you put something wrong in those capsules. I'm sure you did!
How do you mean?
Just look and see for yourself. I tried to tell you when you were filing the order, but you wouldn't listen. But just look at the bottle you took the capsules from. It's not right. I swear it isn't.
Oh no. Oh no.
Don't hurt my sore ear again. I won't tell anyone, Mr. Gower. I promise. I won't tell another soul. Hope to die I won't.
Oh, George.
And you never did. Not to this day. That's remarkable.
He always cared about us young people. Gave most of us our first jobs.
He never stopped caring about you, that's for sure. Remember that handsome suitcase he bought for you when you finally thought you were headed off for college?
That was 1,000 years ago.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
May you always use it in great health, George.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gower. How could I ever pay you?
By graduating with all honors would make us all very proud.
Fat chance.
Lay you a bet, little brother.
Haven't got the time. I'm off to my dance. How do I look?
Like a goon in a penguin suit?
That's enough, you two. You look very nice, Harry.
Of course he does. It's my tux.
What's your verdict, Aunt Tilly? Do I look good enough to eat?
If you lay hit me young, and I'll hit you with this purse.
Oh, but Aunt Tilly, it's a full moon out tonight and I'm in love with you.
Ah! Harry, that's enough.
Oh, Mom, I almost forgot. I've got to borrow the car. I have to deliver a lot of plates and stuff tonight.
Whose plates?
You know, the good Sunday china.
Now wait a minute, Harry. You can't be using my Sunday china. It was your grandmother's and her mother's before that. Are you even listening to me? Oh, Georgie, we sure are gonna miss ya.
Yeah, you too, Vi.
Say, Vi, that's some dress you got on there.
This old thing? Why, it's just a hand-me-down like Harry's.
Well, it sure is nice.
Well, I better get going. The dance starts in a half an hour. Why don't you stop by later on?
Just might do that.
I sure hope you do.
Would you like me and Ernie to walk you over to the school?
That won't be necessary. See you later, Georgie.
Well, come on, Ernie.
See you around, George.
Say, Uncle Billy, where's Pop?
He had to get ready for that board meeting with Potter tomorrow.
I thought when Pop hired him to the board of directors, he'd ease up on us a little bit. What's eating at that money-grabbing buzzard anyway?
Oh, he's a sick man, George. Sick in his mind and sick in his soul if he has one. Hates anybody who has anything that he can't have. Hates us mostly, I'm afraid.
Say, George, you wouldn't ever consider coming and working at the building alone, would you?
Oh, sorry, Uncle Billy, but not me. I couldn't stand being cooped up in a crummy little office for the rest of my life, trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe. I'd go crazy. I want to do something big, something important.
Well, you see, George, your father and I do feel like we're doing something big, something important. It's deep in the heart of a man to want to own his own house and his own fireplace to sit by at night, and we feel like we can help him get those things.
But Bill, you've got to admit, this town is no place for anyone who's willing to crawl to Potter. Now you've got talent, George. We've all seen it. Now you go on and get yourself an education and get out of proof you must.
You have any idea what you want to do?
Well, sure. I want to build things, like airways and cities. It's been a dream all my life.
Still after the first million by your 30th birthday?
Oh no, I sell for half of that in cash.
Well, your Aunt Tilly and I sure are going to miss you.
And I'm going to miss you both very much. Say, Uncle Billy, would you mind running this into the house for me? I think I might step in on Harry's dance.
Have a good time, son.
And you did too, remember? That was the night you met Mary Hatch. Of course, you'd known Mary all of your life. She grew up 3 or 4 years right behind you, always somewhere in the background. Tagging along to one you boys noticed to sit on her way, but that never discouraged her. Not her or any of the girls. You just never took the bait until Harry's graduation party. That's when you danced Charleston all night with Mary Hatch till somebody tripped the lock on the moving gym floor and everyone fell or jumped into the swimming pool.
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon?
Hot dog, just like the church choir.
Beautiful.
There was quite a commotion in that locker room. I had to jump over 3 or 4 people just to get this stuff we're wearing.
I bet half the town said it wasn't a good idea to build a gym floor over the pool. I wonder who turned the key.
Probably someone jealous because you chose me to dance with you.
You think maybe?
Here, let me hold that little dress of yours. Hello.
Hello. You look at me as if you don't know me.
Well, I don't.
You've passed me almost every day along the street.
Me?
Uh-huh.
That wasn't you. That was a little girl named Mary Hatch.
Do I look as funny as you do?
Well, I guess I'm not quite the football type. You look wonderful. You know, if it wasn't me speaking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will say it. How old are you anyways?
You can't ask that.
I am.
18.
18? I was only last year, you were 17.
Too young or too old?
Oh no, just right. Your age fits you. Yes, sir, I see you look a little older without your clothes on. I mean younger. I mean older. I'm sorry.
Sir, my train, please.
A pox upon me for a clumsy lout.
You may kiss my hand.
Mary?
As I was lumbering down the street, down the street, down the street.
Okay, then I'll throw a rock at the old Granville house.
Oh no, please don't. I love that old house.
No, you make a game of it, see? You throw a rock and try to break a window. You've got to be a pretty good shot nowadays with so many already broken out.
Please don't. I love that old place. It's full of romance. I'd like to live in it one day.
In that old thing? I wouldn't live there as a ghost. Look, right there on the second floor.
What you wish for?
Oh, not just one wish, Mary. A whole hatful. I know I'm going to do today and tomorrow and the next year and year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town with my boots, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm going to go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things, like skyscrapers and cities. Are you going to throw a rock? Hey, that's pretty good. What'd you wish for, Mary?
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon?
What'd you wish for, Mary?
Oh no.
Come on, Mary, what'd you wish for?
If I told you, it might not come true.
What is it you want, Mary? You want the moon? Just say the word, and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down to you. That's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it. And then what?
Well, then you can swallow it and it'll dissolve, see? And the moonbeams will shoot out your fingers and your toes, the ends of your hair, and Am I talking too much?
Yes, you are.
Who's that?
Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
What?
Oh, you. You know it's wasting all the wrong people, Ernie.
You're telling me.
Just wasted. You Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon?
Bert, Ernie, why don't you come back here? I'll show you some kissing that'll turn your heads around.
George, come quick, it's your father.
Top?
He's had a stroke.
I'm sorry, Mary, I've got to go. Did you call for a doctor?
Yeah, Shansky's there now.
It was nice of you to come, Mr. Potter.
Well, I'd say your father was the building loan here in Bedford Falls, George.
I agree, sir.
Of course, he wasn't a businessman, and that's what killed him. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect, George. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But these ideals without common sense can ruin this town. So at our next Board of Trustees meeting, I'm going to make a motion.
A motion, sir?
A motion to dissolve the institution and turn its assets and liabilities over to receivership.
But, sir...
Take this loan application, the board's to act on this morning, to Ernie Bishop. You know, that fellow walks around all day delivering our mail, usually late because he's always stopping to talk to everyone on his route. Anyway, I happen to know that the bank turned down his loan, but he came to your building and loan, and you're willing to build him a house worth $5,000. Why?
Well, you have all the papers right here, sir. His insurance, salary, and I can personally vouch for his character.
So he's a friend of yours.
Yes, sir.
So if you shoot pool with the manager's son, you can borrow money. And what does that get the building and loan? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. All because a few starry-eyed dreamers, like your father, stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible ideas.
Now wait just a minute, sir. My father was no businessman, even I can tell you that much. Why he ever started this penny-ante building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything about his character. Why, In the whole 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this institution, he never once thought of himself or saved any money. But he did save a couple people from falling to your slums. This so-called rabble you speak about does most of the living, working, paying, and dying in this community. And is it too much for them to work, live, pay, and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? My father didn't think so, because to him, people are human beings. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're only cattle. And in my book, that makes him a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book, young man. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about, sir. You're talking about something that you can't get your hands on and is galling you. Well, thank you for stopping by, Mr. Potter. I'll see you at the meeting.
You're not on the board?
I hold my father's proxy so I can attend and cast a vote, because the way I see it, the people of this town need this one-horse institution in order to find a way from keeping themselves from falling to you.
Get me out of here. Sentimental hogwash. I'm still going to make my motion, young man, and we'll see who has the power in this town.
But you spoke eloquently at the board meeting that day, and they voted Potter down, remember?
On one condition that I hadn't banked on.
That you take over your father's place, and you did. And you turned over all your school money to your brother Harry and sent him off to college.
And he became a football star. I mean, second team All-American.
And you got 4 years older.
That's for nothing.
Oh, hello, Mother.
Hello, what are you doing? Wishing on the moon?
Oh, no, I gave up on that years ago.
Did you know? Mary Hatch came back from school. Came back just 3 days ago. Nice go, Mary. Kind that will help you find answers, George. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't call upon Mary.
Sure, Sam Wainwright. Yeah, Sam's crazy about Mary.
Well, she's not too crazy about him.
Well, how do you know? Did she tell you?
No.
Well, how do you know then?
Well, I've got eyes, haven't I? And besides, she lights up like a firefly whenever you're around.
Oh.
And Sam's on the way to New York, and you're here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war?
Well, I don't know about war.
You know what, Mother? I can see right through you, right to your back collar button. Trying to get rid of me, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right, old building and loan pal, if you insist, I guess I'll go find a girl to do a little passionate necking.
George!
Now, if you'll just point me in the right direction. This direction? Good night, Mrs. Bailey.
Hey, Georgie Porgy!
Oh, hey, Vi. How's business at Ye Old Fashioned Permanent Wave Shop?
Oh, it's not a tidal wave yet, but a lot more city mothers are coming in thanks to you. Say, what gives with ya?
Oh, nothing.
Well, where are you headed?
I'll probably just head down to the library.
Say, Georgie, don't you ever get tired about reading about things?
Yes, I do. Say, Vi, are you free tonight?
Uh-huh.
Are you game? Let's make a night of it.
Oh, what do we do?
Well, we could go to the fields and take off our shoes and walk through the grass.
Huh?
And we could climb Mount Bedford up to the peaks and watch the sunrise. It'd be a terrific scandal. The whole town will be talking about it.
George, have you gone mad? You must have lost your mind. Walking the grass in my bare feet and Mount Bedford? That's a 10-mile hike.
All right, just forget the whole thing. It was just a silly idea.
You're telling me. Good night, George.
Well, there you are.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
About what?
Paying a visit. Your mother phoned and said you're on your way.
My mother called? I didn't tell her I was coming over here.
Well, how did she know?
I don't know. I just happened to be passing by.
Well, would you like to come up on the porch?
I guess just for a minute. When did you get back?
Tuesday.
Where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's okay. I thought you were going to go back to New York like Sam and Ingy and the rest of them.
Well, I worked up there a couple of vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Oh, yes, and everything, my family, and I don't know, everything. Are you coming up on the porch?
Just for a minute.
Would you rather leave?
No, I don't want to be rude.
Then come on up. Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon?
Mary! Mary! Who's down there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother!
George Bailey? What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
You tell him to go right back home. And don't you leave this house either. Sam Wainwright promised to call you from New York tonight. There he is now. Good night, George.
I guess I better get going.
No, wait a minute.
Mary, get the phone.
Hello, Sam. How are you? Guess who's here? George Bailey. George, he'd like to speak with you.
Hello, Sam?
Well, George Bailey-Ofsky. Hey, fine pal you are. What are you trying to do? Steal my girl?
No one's trying to steal your girl. Here's Mary.
No, wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
He wants you on the extension.
Mother's on the extension. We're listening, Sam.
I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, you remember that night in Martini's bar when you told me you read some place about making plastics out of soybeans?
Soybeans? Yeah, sure.
Well, Dad snapped up the idea. He's going to build a factory outside of Rochester, and here's the point. Mary, you're in on this too. Now listen, George. Have you got any money?
Money? Yeah, sure, a little.
Well, now listen up. I want you to put every cent you've got into our stocks. You hear? And George, I may have a job for you. That is unless you're still married to that broken down building alone. This is the biggest thing since radio, and I'm letting you in on the ground floor. Mary?
I'm here.
Would you tell that guy I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime you hear? The chance of a lifetime.
He says it's a chance of a lifetime.
Now you listen to me. I don't want any ground floors. I don't want any plastics. And I don't want to get married, ever, to anyone, you hear me? I want to do what I want to do, and you're... Oh, Mary.
Oh, George.
Bert and I chipped in on this. We hope you float away to Happy Land on the bubbles.
Oh, look at this. Champagne.
Thank you, Ernie.
By the way, where are you two going this year now, honeymoon?
Where are we going? Now look at this. Here's the kitty. Count it, Mary.
I feel like a bootlegger's wife. Look.
Now where are we going? A whole week in New York. A whole week in Bermuda. The highest hotels. The richest caviar. The oldest champagne. The newest music and the prettiest wife.
That does it. Then what?
Then what, honey?
Then who cares?
That does it.
Hey, I hate to break anything up, but there's something going on down at the bank. I've never really seen one, but it's all the earmarks of a run.
Oh my god.
Folks, if you have any money in the bank, I suggest you hurry.
I should check this out, Mary.
No, George, please let's not stop. Let's go.
It'll only take a minute. Now, right this way, folks. No need to panic. We have everything under control. What's the meaning of this, Uncle Billy?
This is what you call a pickle, George, a real pickle.
Well, how did it start?
Well, the bank called our loan. They came and took all of our money.
How much?
All of it.
Holy mackerel!
I know. I've never seen anything like it. The whole town's gone crazy.
Mr. Potter, to what do we owe this unexpected visit?
George, there's a rumor going around town that you're going to close your doors early. Is this true?
Well, not for another 10 minutes. That's our usual closing time.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Are you all right? Do you need me to call the sheriff?
What for?
Well, mobs get pretty ugly sometimes, you know.
I can assure you, all of our customers are very polite.
I'm sure. George, I'm going all out to help in this crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close down for a week and then reopen.
You've taken over the bank?
I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people as well. Just bring your shares over to the bank and I will pay 50 cents on the dollar.
I'm sure that won't be necessary. We can take care of our customers right here.
Well, just make sure you don't close your doors before 6 p.m. or you'll never reopen. Ladies, gentlemen, remember, 50 cents on the dollar.
You never miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, I'm telling you, you missed this one. Now, don't panic, folks. You heard Mr. Potter. The banks will reopen in a week.
But I've got my money here, George, and I'll take it now.
No, Miss Andrews, you're thinking this place all wrong. As if the money's here. It's not here. It's in the Grange's house, right next to the Kennedy's house, and Mrs. Macklin's house, and 100 others. You're lending them money to build, and they pay it back to you as best they can. Now, what are you going to do? Foreclose on them?
I've got $242, George Bailey, and $242 isn't going to break anybody.
Fine. You sign this paper, and you'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
Now, that's what you agreed to when you bought your shares. What do you... Stick to your original agreement, Miss Andrews.
Are you going to go to Potter's? Better to get half than nothing.
Wait. Miss Andrews. Mrs. Thompson. Wait, please. Please, listen to me. Potter's already got a hold of the banks. He's got the department stores. He's got the bus lines. And he's after us next. You know why? Because we're cutting in on his business, that's why. If he gets a hold of us, there'll never be another decent house built in this town ever again. We can get through this. We just have to stick together. We have to have faith in each other.
But my husband hasn't worked in over a year, and I need money.
How am I going to live until the bank reopens?
We've got doctor bills to pay.
Yeah, George, I need cash.
I can't feed my kids off faith.
How much do you need?
Hey, that's right. I've got $2,000. $2,000, everybody. Okay. Miss Andrews, how much do you need?
$242.
Miss Andrews, just enough till the bank reopens.
I'll take $242.
Fine.
That'll close my account.
No, your account's still there. That's a loan. All right, Ernie. How much do you need?
I've got $200 for you, George.
Ernie, please, just enough till the bank reopens.
Well, I suppose $20?
$20. Now you're talking. All right. Mrs. Thompson?
But it's your own money, George.
Never mind about that. How much do you need?
I'll get along with 20, all right?
$20. Now you're talking.
And I'll sign a paper.
You don't need to sign a thing. I know you'll pay it back as best you can. Mrs. Martini?
Could we have $17.50?
Bless your soul. Of course you can have $17.50. You got 50 cents? You take over. Hello, Mrs. Bailey.
Hello, Mr. Bailey. How's business?
Booming.
Well, at least you have a place to call home. Most of the windows are busted out, and the roof leaks in a place or two, but the structural status isn't
Seuss. But that's...
Remember that night? That's what I wished for, and I've been saving ever since. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We've only been married an hour.
An hour, 29 minutes, and 40 some odd seconds. That's early enough to celebrate.
Oh, honey, you're wonderful. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! We did it! $2! I say we're a couple of financial wizards.
Those Rockefellers.
Crack the safe open for these great big old simoleons.
We could save them. Proceed.
Here's to Papa Dollar and Mama Dollar. And if we want to have a business, let's hope they have a family real quick.
I wish they're rabbits.
That's great, Aunt Tilly. Here's to the rabbits.
To rabbits!
Bread, so this house may never know hunger. Salt, so life may always have flavor.
And wine. May joy and prosperity reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle.
You cannot dismiss this Bailey Park anymore, Mr. Potter. It's cutting deeper and deeper into your rental profits.
The Bailey family has been a boil on my neck long enough.
Mr. Potter, Mr. Bailey's here to see you.
Good. Tell him to wait. Go on.
As you know, he's put up a whole subdivision out next to the cemetery. Dozens and dozens of the prettiest little houses you've ever saw. I'm seriously thinking of purchasing one myself.
Don't you dare.
My point is, Mr. Potter, 90% of the residents used to pay rent to you. Now, if I were you, Mr. Potter...
Well, you are not me.
As you say, I'm just a lonely bank examiner. But if you're not careful, one of these days...
I'm a busy man, Miss Carter. I haven't got time for idle conjecture. Cut into my revenue, will you? I'll show you a trick or two, Mr. Bailey.
Yes, sir?
Send Bailey in.
Right away, sir. Mr. Bailey, Mr. Potter will see you now.
Mr. Potter, this is quite an unusual request.
What's that?
You asking me to visit you?
I don't know what's so unusual about it. I just thought the two of us should get better acquainted. Here, have a cigar.
Thank you, sir. This is quite a cigar.
You like it? I'll send you a box.
Thank you, sir. Now, I'm sure I'll find out sooner or later, but why did you invite me over?
George, that's just what I like so much about you. I'm an old man, and most people hate me. But I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. You know as well as anyone that I run practically everything in this town but the Bailey Building and Loan. You also know that for a number of years I've been trying to get control of it, or kill it. But you have stopped me. In fact, you have beaten me. And anybody in this county can tell you that that takes some doing. Take during the Depression, for instance. You and I were the only two that kept our heads. You saved the building alone, and I saved all the rest.
Well, most people say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones say that, George. The suckers. Now, I've stated my side very frankly. Let's look at yours. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week?
45.
45. Out of which, after supporting your wife and your mother, you're able to keep, say, 10 if you skimp. A child or two comes along, and you won't even be able to save 10. Now, if this young man of 28 was a common, ordinary yokel, I'd say he was doing just fine. But George Bailey is not a common, ordinary yokel. He's a smart, ambitious young man who has been trying to get out on his own since he was born. But he has to sit around and watch his friends go places because he's trapped. Yes, sir, trapped into frittering his life away playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Now, do I paint a correct picture or do I exaggerate?
Now, what's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point? My point is I want to hire you.
You want to hire me?
I want you to manage my affairs, George. Run my properties. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a few business trips to New York a year, maybe once in a while Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Well, What about the building and loan, sir?
Oh, confound it, man. Are you afraid of success? I'm offering you a 3-year contract starting out at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Well, would it be all right if I had just 24 hours to think it over?
Sure. Go on home and talk it over with your wife.
I'd like that, sir.
In the meantime, I'll draw up the papers.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, George.
Okay, Mr. Potter. No. No. I don't need to speak to anybody. I know my answer now, and it's no, doggone it. You sit here and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I see you're nothing but a scurry little spider, you. And that goes for you, too. And you, too.
Hi.
Hello.
Rough day? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon?
Mary Hatch, why in the world did you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid.
You could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else. I want my baby to look like you.
But you'd even have a honeymoon. I promise you, Mary, Your what?
My baby.
You mean, Mary, are you on the nest?
In manner of speaking.
What is it, a boy or a girl?
Uh-huh.
You were on top of the world then, George Bailey. Couldn't have been happier.
That was nearly 10 years ago. We've had a war since then.
Yes, and your wife has given birth to not one, but 4 beautiful children. And your brother, Harry, has been decorated with the Congressional Medal of Honor. President decorates Harry Bailey.
Hey, that was this morning's newspaper headline.
Yes, that's right. This morning. Day before Christmas. About 10 a.m. That's where it all started, wasn't it? You were out buying a Christmas wreath, and Uncle Billy, oh yes, Uncle Billy, was on his way to the bank.
Extra, extra! Read all about it! Local boy wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Harry Bailey to be decorated as president.
Give me one of those. Ugh, one of those Bailey boys again.
Well, good morning, Mr. Potter. How are you this morning? Let me see this. Wow, Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal of Honor. You just can't keep those Bailey boys down, can you?
How does Slacker George feel about that?
Very upset. Very upset indeed. He only busted 3 buttons off his vest. But you know, Slacker George would have won 2 of those awards if it wasn't for his bad ear.
I know.
Yeah. But you know, not every heel was in Germany and Japan either.
Give me back my paper. Buy your own if you want to drool over it. Wait a minute. Hey! Ah, yes. Take me straight to the bank.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
George, it's Harry in all the distance from Washington.
Harry, well, what do you know?
Here first the charges. It's okay, isn't it?
For a hero? Of course it is. Harry, all you 7 kinds of a son of a gun, how are you? How's Mother standing it? Really? Mother had lunch with the president's wife.
Wait till Bill hears about this. What did they have to eat?
What did they have to eat? Really? The Navy's flying Mother home this afternoon.
In a plane?
Yeah. Yeah, sure, I'll ask. Is Uncle Billy here?
No, he stopped at the bank first.
He's not here right now. No kidding.
George?
Wow, I wish I was there.
George, that lady's here again.
Lady?
The bank examiner.
You speak to Aunt Tilly for a minute, will you? I'll be right back.
Hey, Georgie, can we talk?
Sure, Vi. If you'll just step into my office, I'll be right with you. Hello, Miss...
Carter, bank examiner.
Miss Carter. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're all very excited around here. My brother's just been decorated the Congressional Medal of Honor. President decorates Harry Bailey.
Well, I suppose they do those sorts of things. I trust you had a good year then.
Well, between you and me, Miss Carter, we're broke.
Very funny.
Okay. If you'll just step into Uncle Billy's office, we have everything laid out for you.
Although I shouldn't wonder when you can reverse charges on long-distance personal phone calls.
George, shall I hang up?
No, he wants to speak to Uncle Billy.
Now, if you'll cooperate, I'd like to get done with you by tonight. I want to spend Christmas in Elmira with my sister and her family.
Oh, I don't blame you, Miss Carter. As soon as Uncle Billy arrives, he'll explain everything to you.
Uncle Billy, hurry! Long distance, Washington!
Yeah, can't talk right now.
But it's your nephew Harry, remember? Here's your Uncle Billy, Harry.
Hi, Harry. Yeah. Everything's fine. Okay, alright. Bye.
Mr. Bailey?
Me?
Oh, another Mr. Bailey? Well, you'll do just fine. Possibly better. Can I see you in here for a moment, please? I have some questions.
Yeah. One second, please. Where's George?
In his office with Violet Peterson.
I need to speak with him immediately.
Character? Well, if I had character.
Well, it takes a whole lot of character to move away and start all over again. Here. You're
No.
broke, aren't you?
Don't.
No. What are you gonna do? Hawk your furs hat and walk to New York? You know, rent and food cost money there, the same as it does here.
Yeah, I know.
Besides, that's the name of the business, building and loan. And I know you'll get a job and pay it back as best you can.
George Bailey, am I sure glad I met you?
Say hello to New York for us, Vi.
Yeah, sure will. Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Violet.
Mr. Bailey, there seems to be a problem.
A problem?
George, can I speak with you for a second?
What is it? What?
Is that your bad ear?
No.
So you did hear me?
How much? That much? Oh, Uncle Billy, are you sure you had it with you? Did you buy anything?
No, nothing. Not even a stick of gum.
Oh, think, Uncle Billy, please.
I am thinking, I have been. I don't know where I put it.
Oh, Uncle Billy, we have to find that money.
I know, George, I know.
Is there any place in your house you could have hid it? Anywhere at all?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Think, Uncle Billy, think.
I am thinking, George. I'm thinking and it hurts.
Now listen to me, you stupid, silly little fool. Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy, and scandal, and prison.
No.
Yes, that's what it means. It means one of us is going to prison, and it's not going to be me.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Daddy.
Do you like it?
Bless you.
Did you bring home the Christmas wreath?
Daddy, did you bring the Christmas wreath?
Wreath? What wreath?
The Christmas wreath for the window?
I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
It just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
I left it at the office.
George, what's wrong?
Nothing is wrong. Everything's fine.
the Browns next door have a new card. You should see it.
Well, what's wrong with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy.
You better hurry and shave, George. The families will be here soon.
The families. I don't want the families over. What is it, Zuzu?
Oh, she caught a cold. She got a flower as a prize at school, and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her jacket.
Do you have a temperature?
I don't think so.
Just a teensy one. 99.6. She's gonna be all right.
Well, you go back on upstairs to bed, Zuzu. This floor is cold.
My flower. She needs a drink.
Now.
I'll bring your flower drink in just a second. Now go along.
It's this drafty house. I don't know how we don't have pneumonia by now. It's like living in a refrigerator. I don't know why we had to stay in Cornwall Town anyways.
George, what's the matter?
Nothing is the matter.
Daddy, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Telephone! I'll get it. Hello, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, hello, Mrs. Welch. She's gonna be all right. The doctor said she'll be out of bed just in time for Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello, Mrs. Welch? Yes, this is George Bailey. I'm Zuzu's father. What were you thinking sending her home like that? Do you realize she could have gotten pneumonia on account of you? And this is what our tax money goes to pay stupid teachers like you who send our kids home half naked. Okay, well my kids may not be the best dressed kids. They may not have the nicest clothes, but not stupid.
Hello? I'd like to apologize. She hung up.
I'll hang her up.
Telephone!
I'll get it. Hello? Oh, Mr. Welch, I'm so glad you called. Gives me a perfectly good time to tell you what I really think of your wife.
George!
Oh, you will, huh? Well, next time you think you're man enough, He hung up.
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
I don't know. What do you think I am, a dictionary? Jamie, would you keep playing that stupid song? Now stop it. Mr. Potter, I need your help. There's some sort of accident. My accounts are short.
Oh, so that's what the reporters wanted to talk to you about?
The reporters?
Yes, they called me up earlier from your building and loan. Oh, there's a man from the DA's office over there too. He's looking for you.
Mr. Potter, please, only you can help me. I must have misplaced $8,000.
You misplaced $8,000?
Yes, sir.
Have you notified the police?
No, sir. I told the publicity. Harry's homecoming tomorrow.
They're going to believe that one. What have you been doing then, George? Playing the market with the company's money?
No, sir, I haven't.
What is it then? A woman? You know, it's all over town you've been giving money to Violet Peterson.
What?
Not that it makes any difference to me, but why did you come to me? Why didn't you go and ask Sam Wainwright for the money?
I couldn't get a hold of him. He's off in Europe.
Well, what about all of your other friends?
You know as well as I do, they don't have that kind of money. Only you can help me, sir, please.
I see. I've suddenly become quite important. What kind of security would I have? Do you have any stocks?
No, sir.
Bonds, real estate, collateral of any kind?
Well, I have this life insurance policy worth $15,000.
Yes. What is your equity in it?
$500.
Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warp-frustrated old man. Well, what are you but a warp-frustrated young man? You come in here crawling on your hands and knees begging me for help. No stocks, no bonds, nothing but a miserable little $500 equity in a life insurance policy. You're worth more dead than alive. Why don't you go to this riffraff you love so much and ask them for the money? Because they'd run you out of town on a rail. Now, since the state examiner is still here, as a stockholder of building and loan, I'm swearing out a warrant for your arrest.
No.
Misappropriation of funds, manipulation.
No.
Go ahead, George. You can't hide in a little town like this.
Oh gosh, you've got to help me out here.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish
George?
you a Merry
George
Christmas.
Bailey, is that you?
We wish
Come on
you
and
a
join
Merry
us.
Christmas.
Not tonight, Mr.
We
Martin,
wish
please.
you a
Why
Merry
not, George?
Christmas
Remember how fun it
and
was
a
last
Happy
year?
New Year.
Did he call you George Bailey?
That's right. This is Mr. George Bailey, brother of the young man who has just been given the Congressional Medal of Honor. Well,
And the next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. She cried for it over an hour and went come out tonight.
That's enough, Mr. Welsh. That's enough.
It isn't enough. She slaves teaching your stupid kids how to read and write. You have to bawl her out.
Mr. Welch.
On to health, and I'm going home.
Come on, everybody. This is Christmas Eve, and we're supposed to be spreading good cheer.
Yeah. Aren't we gonna sing anymore?
Of course we are. Come on, everybody. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Are you alright, George?
I'm fine.
Do you need me to drive you home?
No, no, I sound fine.
You're sure?
Yes, I'm sure. What's that life insurance policy?
You're what?
Nothing. Just go along with your friends, Ernie. I'll be fine.
Ernie, are you coming?
Yeah, 1 second. You're sure you're alright, George?
I'm sure.
Alright. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Ernie. God, I'm not a praying man, but if you can hear me, please, I need your help. I'm at the end of my rope.
And that's where I came in.
You mean you actually heard my prayer up there?
Yours and over a dozen others. You'd be surprised how many people are concerned about you.
Well, not after they find out that I've ruined their lives.
You haven't ruined their lives, George. Besides, wasn't your fault.
Wasn't my fault. I'm the president of the company. I'm being held accountable.
And you honestly think that killing yourself would make everyone feel happier?
I don't know. I guess it's just been better if I'd never been born at all.
What'd you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
You mustn't talk like that. You. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's an idea. What do you think? Yeah. That'll do it. All right. You've got your wish. You've never been born. You don't have to make all that fuss about it.
What did you say?
You've never been born. You haven't a care in the world. No worries, no obligations, no $8,000, and no Potter chasing you around with the sheriff.
Say something else in his ear.
Sure, you can hear out of it.
That's the darndest thing. I haven't heard a thing out of this ear since I was a little kid.
Watch you Merry Christmas. We wish you Merry Christmas. We wish you Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year.
Dominic?
That's my name, and that's my poison. Do you want some?
Mr. Martini, where's your wife?
They're home. They're all home. And that makes it a Merry Christmas. Doesn't it, Jets?
What are you talking about? I just saw her a minute ago, with lots of other women and children too.
What are you gonna do? Rat us out?
Hey, I know you. You're that fella that just hit me a minute ago.
I did? Did you hear that? I hit him. Did it hurt?
Oh, leave the sucker alone. He's worse off than we are.
Look out. Here comes that panhandler. He's caught up with us again.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Mr. Gower?
No, Welsh. Don't go trying to hit him again.
Mr. Gower, it's me, George Bailey. I used to work for you on the corner drugstore.
Any of you got a dime or two to spare, or a drink? I'll settle for a drink.
Now, come on, I tell you. I don't like messing with that guy.
Mr. Gower, don't you remember me?
Yeah, I know I don't like that brumhead. He spent 20 years in jail for poisoning a kid.
That's right. And if you know him, then you must be a jailbird yourself. Come on, boys. Let's get out of here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait for me.
You see, George? You weren't there to stop Gower from putting the poison into the bottle.
What do you mean I wasn't there? I remember distinctly. Look, who are you?
This is what I've been trying to tell you all of this time, George. I'm your guardian angel.
But I don't get it.
What don't you get? This is what you wanted. Don't you understand? It's all because you were not born.
What do you mean I wasn't born? I was born right here in Bedford Falls on July 12th, 1907.
You won't find any public record of that, okay? There is no George Bailey. Never has been. And besides, this isn't Bedford Falls anymore. It's Pottersville.
No. No.
Yes, I'm afraid so. And there is no George Bailey. Never has been. You see, George, you've been given a great, great gift. A chance to see what the world would be like without you.
Violet?
That's what they call me.
Oh, Violet, am I glad to see you.
And am I glad to see you too? Say, what's your name? Are you new in town?
No, Violet, it's me, George.
Of course it is. And if anyone's asked, I've never seen or heard of you before.
No, Violet, you have to remember me.
I don't think I do. Why don't you help me?
Your name's Violet Peterson, and you were born right here in 1910, 1911, and you went to local high school.
What are you? Some sort of private eye? Don't you guys ever give it a break? It's Christmas Eve, for God's sake.
Violet, please, you have to remember me.
Oh yeah, I think I do. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. That's my motto. So if you don't mind, I'll be on my way.
Violet.
Or I'll make a do that. Merry Christmas. Well, what do you want? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
No, I just need to figure some things out.
I told you, there's no vacancy. And besides, I don't take in strangers unless they're referred by someone. Go try on Maple, 163 Main.
Wait, I know your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
How do you know him?
I've seen him around.
When? When did you see him around?
This morning at his house.
That's a lie. He's been locked up in the state asylum ever since his business failed.
Your son, Harry.
My only son broke through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
What? No, he's a war hero. He's coming home tomorrow.
I'm calling the police.
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives, and when he isn't there, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he?
But he saved every man on that transport. It was in every newspaper headline.
Every man on that transport died, George. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, you really did have a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it all away?
Clarence,
Yes, George.
where's Mary?
I don't think that,
If you know where she is, please tell me.
I'm not gonna like it, George.
Is she alive, Clarence?
Yes, she's alive, but something happened. She's not the Mary you used to know.
Mary?
There must be some kind of easier way to get my wings.
Mary?
Who are you? What do you want?
It's me, your husband, George Bailey.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mary, what happened to us?
Don't get any closer. I can't stand to be touched. Please, somebody help! Anybody!
Mary, wait! Clarence, please take me back! I don't care what happens, just take me back to my wife and my kids! Please, Clarence, I want to live again!
Hey, George, what's the matter?
I didn't do anything to her, honest!
What are you talking about? What in the same hill are you yelling for, George?
Don't! George? Bert, do you know me?
Know you? I've been looking all over for you. Half the town's out looking for you.
Mary?
Yeah, Mary called, so did Martini, and your Uncle Billy, and even your mom called. So what's going on here, George?
What's going on? Look around you, Bert. It's breathing. It's moving. It's alive. Merry Christmas, Bert.
I think I better take you home.
No, Bert. Honestly, I'm fine. Yes! Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, movie house. Merry Christmas, Emporio. Oh, Merry Christmas, building alone. Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody.
have a deficit we must talk about.
Oh, yes, isn't it wonderful? Oh, look at this drafty house. Oh, have you seen my wife? Mary! Mary!
Merry Christmas, Daddy!
Oh, look at these wonderful children. I can eat you up, but where's your mother?
She's out looking for you with Uncle Billy.
George, darling.
Hallelujah! Oh, you're real. Oh, let me touch you.
Where have you been?
You have no idea what happened to me.
You have no idea what happened. Come right here, stand right here. I can hear him, George. It's a miracle, a miracle. Come on in, Uncle Billy.
George, it was incredible. Mary went door to door asking for help, and all they said was, if George is in trouble, he can count on us. I've never seen anything like it.
What is this, George? Another run on the bank?
I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George.
Glad to do it, George.
Anytime for you, Mr. Bailey.
Oh, I decided not to go to New York, George.
I made a round of all my charge accounts, George.
All right, quiet, everybody. Now this is from London. Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. My office has instructed to advance you $25,000. Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
George! Harry! Oh. It looks like I'm just in time. Does anybody have some wine or some champagne? I'd like to propose a toast to the richest man in town, my big brother George.
To George!
Oh, I almost forgot. A little old man at the airport told me to hand you this in person.
A beaten up copy of Tom Sawyer. Who would give you that?
Dear George, remember that no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence. From a very good friend of mine, like all of you. Merry Christmas.
Listen, Daddy.
What is it, darling?
Hear the bell? Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. Attaboy, Clarence. 1, 2, 3.
Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to light? Should all acquaintance be forgot for all things I? For all things I, my dear, for all things I will take a cup of kindness yet. For all things I.
The snow